जय प्रभुपदा जय प्रभुपदा प्रभुपदा जय प्रभुपदा जय राधा माधव श्री राधे जय प्रहलाद सिंह जय प्रहलाद सिंह जय प्रहलाद सिंह जय पंचतत्व जय पंचतत्व जय जय प्रभुपाद जय जय प्रभुपाद श्रील प्रभुपाद की गौर प्रेमानंदे। Readings from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 3, Chapter 2, Remembrance of Lord Krishna. Today we are going to see text 8. Okay, so before we get into the text in this fine cozy morning, we'll chant the invocation prayers. Please try to repeat. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Nigamakalpatarorgalitam phalam Sukamukat amrita dravasamyutam Pibata Bhagavatam rasamalayam Muhuraho rasika bhuvibhavakaha Narayanam namaskritya Naran chaiva narottamam Devim saraswatim vyasam Tato jayam mudirayet Nashtaprayeshu abhadreshu Nityam bhagavata sevaya Bhagavatyuttama shloke Bhaktir bhavati naishtiki Durbhago bata lokoyam Durbhago bata lokoyam Yadavo nitarām Ye saṁvasanto na vidur Harim mīnā ivoḍupam Durbhago bata lokoyam Yadavo nitarām Ye saṁvasanto na vidur harim mīnā ivoḍupam durbhago bata lokoyam bahavo nitarām Ye saṁvasanto na vidur harim mīnā ivoḍupam durbhago bata lokoyam yadavo nitarām Ye saṁvasanto na vidur harim mīnā ivoḍupam durbhago bata lokoyam yadavo nitarāmapi, ye saṁvasanto na vidur, harim mīnā ivoḍupam, durbhago bata loko ayam, yadavo nitarāmapi, ye saṁvasanto na vidur, harim mīnā ivoḍupam. Matajis. Durbhago bata loko ayam, yadavo nitarāmapi, ye saṁvasanto na vidur, harim mīnā ivoḍupam. Durbhago bata loko ayam, yadavo nitarāmapi, ye saṁvasanto na vidur, harim mīnā ivoḍupam. Durbhagaḥ, unfortunate. Bata, certainly. Lokaḥ, universe. Ayam, this. Yadavaḥ, the Yadu dynasty. Nitarām, more specifically. Api, also. Ye, those. Saṁvasantaḥ, living together. Na, did not. Viduḥ, understand. Harim, the personality of Godhead. Mīnāḥ, the fishes. Uḍupam, like the moon. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace Abhay Charananda Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki. Translation, please try to repeat. This universe, with all its planets, is most unfortunate. And even more unfortunate are the members of the Yadu dynasty, because they could not identify Lord Hari as the personality of Godhead any more than the fish could identify the moon. Purport. Uddhava lamented for the unfortunate persons of the world who could not recognize Lord Śrī Kṛṣṇa in spite of seeing all his transcendental godly qualities. From the very beginning of his appearance, within the prison bars of King Kaṁsa up to his mausala-līlā, although he exhibited his potencies as the personality of Godhead in 6 opulences of wealth, strength, fame, beauty, knowledge and renunciation, the foolish persons of this world could not understand that he was the Supreme Lord. Foolish persons might have thought him as an extraordinary historic figure because they had no intimate touch with the Lord. But more unfortunate were the family members of the Lord, the members of Yadu dynasty, who were always in the company with the Lord, but were unable to recognize him as the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Uddhava lamented his own fortune also because although he knew Krishna to be the Supreme Personality of Godhead, he could not properly use the opportunity to render devotional service to the Lord. He regretted everyone's misfortune, including his own. The pure devotee of the Lord thinks himself as most unfortunate. This is due to excessive love for the Lord and is one of the transcendental perceptions of viraha, the suffering of separation. It is learned from the revealed scriptures that moon was born from the milk ocean. There is a milk ocean in the upper planets, and there Lord Vishnu, who controls the heart of every living being as Paramatma, the super soul, resides as the Kshirodakashayi Vishnu. Those who do not believe in the existence of the milk ocean because they have experience of only salty water in the ocean, should know that the world is also called as the go, which means the cow. The urine of a cow is salty, and according to Ayurvedic medicine, the cow's urine is very effective in treating the patients suffering from liver trouble. Such patients may not have any experience of cow's milk because milk is never given to liver patients. But the liver patient may know that the cow has milk also, although he has never tasted it. Similarly, men who have experience only of this tiny planet where the saltwater ocean exists may take information from the revealed scripture that there is also an ocean of milk, although we have never seen it. From this ocean of milk, the moon was born, but the fish in the milk ocean could not recognize the moon, that the moon was not another fish and was different from them. The fish took the moon to be one of them, or maybe something illuminating, but nothing more. The unfortunate persons who do not recognize Lord Krishna are like such fish. They take him to be one of them, although a little extraordinary opulence, strength, etc. The Bhagavad Gita 9.11 confirms such foolish persons to be most unfortunate. Avajananti mam mudha manusim tanum ashritam. Harihi Om Tat Sat. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayyam Dadadi Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Gurun Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sakhagana Raghunatan Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parjana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sakhagana Lalita Shri Vishakan Vitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindho Dina Bandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vishabhanusute Devi Pranamami Haripriye Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prashtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamin Iti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunnavadi Paschaitya Deshatarine Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Mokam Karoti Vachalam Pangalangayate Grimit Kripatamaham Mande Shri Gurum Dinatarinam Paramananda Madhavam Shri Chaitanya Mishwaram Kathanchana Smrite Yasmin Dushkaram Sukaram Bhavet Vismrite Pritam Syat Sri Chaitanyam Namamitam Namam Vishnupadaya Krishna Prashtaya Bhutale Srimate Jayapataka Swaminit Namine Nama Acharya Padayane Kripa Pradayane Gaura Katadamadaya Nagara Gramatarine Durbhago bata loko yadavo nitarām api ye saṁvasanto na vidur harim mīnā ivoḍupam. This universe with all its planets is most unfortunate, and even more unfortunate are the members of Yadu dynasty, because they could not identify Lord Hari as the personality of Godhead any more than the fish could identify the moon. So, in this verse, Uddhava, he is discussing about unfortunate people. So, in that, he has identified three types of unfortunate people. So, out of the three types of unfortunate people, two types of people are really unfortunate, and one person thinks that he is unfortunate, but he is most fortunate. So, therefore, these three types of people are discussed in this verse, for which Prabhupada has given the purport. Of course, Uddhava is lamenting Krishna's separation, and from this we can understand that the devotee is never separated from Krishna, because Krishna's smriti is as good as Krishna. So, even though in this material world the devotees are living in material circumstances and they are surrounded by material paraphernalia, still they are never separated from Krishna because they are always thinking of Krishna. Mad chitta, mad gata prana bodhayanta parasparam, katayantaschamam nityam tushyanti cha ramanti cha. Krishna says that in this material world, everybody is trying to get satisfaction and pleasure in various ways. Tushyanti ramanti. In various ways, they are trying to get satisfaction. But whatever they try to get satisfaction, they simply get dissatisfaction. This is the nature of material world. You try to get satisfaction in this material world by different ways, you simply end up with dissatisfaction. But the only place where the dissatisfaction gives satisfaction is Krishna consciousness. This is very funny because everywhere people are looking for satisfaction, they are getting dissatisfaction. But devotees are dissatisfied, that dissatisfaction gives them satisfaction. They are saying, Vayam tu na vitrupyama uttama shloka vikrame yat sunvatam ratagyanam swadu swadu pade pade. Vayam tu na vitrupyama. We are not satisfied. The Saunakadi Rishis are saying, hey, we are not satisfied. Please talk more about Krishna. We are talking more about Krishna. We are not satisfied. But in that dissatisfaction lies satisfaction. Swadu swadu pade pade. That in every step they are actually relishing the satisfaction of hearing Krishna Katha. Otherwise, what is there pade pade? There is one more verse in Bhagavatam, pade pade, what is there? It says that samarshita yad pada pallava plavam mahatpadam punyesho murare bhavambuder vatsapadam parampadam padam padam yad vipadam. You see that same pade pade, but pade pade vipade. For people who are trying to get satisfaction away from Krishna, what is that pade pade vipade? Every step you take, in every step there is danger. But those people who are trying to get satisfaction from Krishna and they are not dissatisfied by hearing about Krishna, for them, swadu swadu pade pade. So therefore, these people, they are very strange people. Who are they? The devotees of Krishna. They are very strange people in the material world because their dissatisfaction gives them satisfaction. Their misery gives them the greatest happiness. So to understand about devotees is a little bit very difficult. So therefore, this world is unfortunate. This is the first type of unfortunate people. That they are unfortunate because they cannot understand who is Krishna, what is devotion, what is devotional service. Bhakta, bhakti and Bhagavan, they cannot understand. Some people think everybody is Bhagavan, everybody is Bhagavan, everybody, aham brahmasmi, everybody is Bhagavan, don't worry, be happy. That be God, dog is God, God is dog, everything. Some people think like that. Then some other people are thinking, where is God? There is no God, show me God. Where is God? Show me, man. Where is God? Show me. They cannot see that God is everywhere. He can be seen everywhere. In Ishapada it says, tad tejati, tad nejati, tad dure, tad avantike, tad antarasya sarvasya, tadu sarvasyasya bhahyataha. He walks, he does not walk, he is very near, he is very far, he is inside, he is outside. That means he is everywhere. Andantarastha paramana chayantarastham. The Lord is everywhere. For one who wants to see Lord, he can see Lord everywhere. For one who doesn't want to see Lord, he cannot see Lord anywhere. Most unfortunate. Most unfortunate. Therefore, Krishna says, avajananti mam mudha manusim tanamashritam. Krishna is doing so many different pastimes. He is creating, he is maintaining, he is destroying. People are not interested in all that. Please go and read second canto of Bhagavatam. Please read Chatushloki. Please try to relish Chatushloki, Bhagavatam. Krishna is saying that Dhritirtam yapratiyeta na pratiyeta chatmani tadvidyat atmano maya yata bhaso yata tamaha. Please try to relish this sloka. No, we don't want all this. This is all tattva, very dry. We go to hear Bhagavatam, 10th canto, Krishna is dancing with gopis. What nonsense. Because people think, I am dancing with my girlfriend, Krishna is dancing with gopis, I and Krishna are same. He has girlfriend, I have girlfriend. I am flirting, he is flirting. Most unfortunate. Most unfortunate. Avajananti mam mudha manusim tanamashritam. Most unfortunate. When Krishna makes this wonderful universe, and in this universe, inside, outside, there is symmetry. There is so much of symmetry in the universe that actually by seeing the universe, one should actually understand this creation is very, very intelligent. You see anything in this universe, intelligence is stamped on it. You cannot have this whole universe without intelligence. You study the cosmic manifestation, how it is there, so many planets being arranged, they are all moving so with great velocity in the sky. This meteor is coming, that meteor is coming, this is going, that is going, NASA, PASA, ESA, all these fellows are studying, put so many telescopes and study this, study that, but stupid fellows, they cannot understand, it cannot come without intelligence. Most unfortunate. Billions of dollars can be spent in trying to find the origin of universe. They cannot spend Bhagavatam, one full set, study for first canto, second canto, third canto, understand that how the universe has come. Most unfortunate. That when someone says that there is milk ocean, hey, how there can be milk ocean? Has anybody seen milk ocean? Hey. Prabhupada calls them frog in the well. Frog in the well. That the frog in the well tries to understand the ocean by his experience. So the Mayavadis are one type of frog in the well. They are trying to understand transcendence by their experience. The scientists are another type of frog in the well. They are trying to understand Krishna by their own experience. So different types of frogs in the well. All of them are most unfortunate. All of them are most unfortunate. But then Uddhava is pointing at one more set of people. Who are he pointing out? Yadavo nitarām api. More unfortunate than these people who are generally outside, who are observing Krishna from outside, more unfortunate than them are the Yadavas themselves, because inside the Yadava clan, where Krishna was born, Krishna was walking, Krishna was doing various pastimes, there were different demigods who actually took birth in the Yadava clan, and they did not understand that Krishna is Supreme Personality of Godhead. They were thinking Krishna is also another demigod like us, he is very, very powerful, he is very good, we are actually with him, we are enjoying life. Therefore, they acted with great arrogance. They acted with great arrogance. They did not respect Krishna's law. Namo Brahmanya Devaya, Go Brahmana Hitaya Cha, Jagat Hitaya Krishnaya, Govindaya, Namo Namaha. Krishna is called Brahmanya Deva. That Brahmanas are to be respected, cows are to be respected. They did not care for it. They thought, we are Krishna's family, we are so strong, we can go and insult the Brahmanas, nothing will happen to us. What is going to happen to us? So they dress Amba like a girl, and then they take to the great sages and they say, oh, great sages, can you please tell what baby this girl will give birth? Okay, this girl will give birth to one mausala, iron rod. This will destroy your clan. Go, have it. So, they are more unfortunate because being with Krishna, sitting with Krishna, eating with Krishna, they did not recognize Krishna. And they acted against the interest of Krishna. They are most unfortunate. So, same way, this International Society for Krishna Consciousness is there. This is a wonderful opportunity to go back home, back to Godhead. And we are in this International Society for Krishna Consciousness. We are initiated, we are devotees here, we have taken part in this International Society for Krishna Consciousness. We have seen Prabhupada in his books. Some of us have seen Prabhupada personally, some of us have not seen him personally, we have seen him in his books. Doesn't matter. We have heard his Vani. And every day we pray to him. Shri Guru Charana Padma Kevala Bhakati Sadma. But if we don't utilize the facility of International Society of Krishna Consciousness to go back home, back to Godhead, and simply get bogged down by different anarthas, different politics, different this, different that. Oh, this institution is full of politics. Oh, in this institution so many people are doing so many things. Oh, in this institution so many things are happening I don't like. Oh, there is power struggle. Oh, there is corporate culture. Oh, this is that. Oh, this is that. But there is also Krishna consciousness. There are also pure devotees who are chanting the holy name. There is also the facility to look at Radha Madhav and forget yourself. Panchatattva is standing with both their hands up. Mahaprabhu is standing. Hey, come, come, come. I will give you Krishna's mercy. He is standing. You go there and then you are thinking, oh, this guy is doing politics with me. This guy is trying to pull my leg. Huh? Most unfortunate. Most unfortunate to be in the moment, to have the facility to go back home, back to Godhead in this lifetime, and to have the promise of the Acharya, follow me, I will take you back home, back to Godhead. I have the key for the back door. Still, if we cannot raise away from our petty anarthas, if we are still fighting, hey this, hey that, and if we are trying to see, oh, who is making politics, who is doing this, who is doing that, most unfortunate. Most unfortunate. The people outside ISKCON, they are unfortunate because they cannot utilize the facility of ISKCON. We try to give them Prabhupada books, we try to tell them come for programs, they say, I don't have time. No, I don't have time. Okay, but what about us? What about us? We came to this movement with a determination that I will eat prasad, I will chant the holy name, I will dance in front of the deity, I will go back home, back to Godhead. We are eating prasad, we are chanting the holy name, we are dancing in front of the deity, but the determination to go back home, back to Godhead, if you have lost it by simply seeing the defects of devotees, most unfortunate. Most unfortunate. Of course there is going to be problem, of course there is going to be defect, of course there is going to be so many things. Neither I am perfect, nor somebody else is perfect. Okay, if I am not perfect, why should I expect somebody else to be perfect? All of us are trying. We may have differences. That's not a problem. Prabhupada is saying in 4th canto, the differences between devotees should be considered as transcendental. He is saying that because the purpose is one, that everyone is trying to please Prabhupada, everyone is trying to please Krishna, everyone is trying to please Mahaprabhu, then there may be differences within that society where one may think this is the best way to please, another may think that is the best way to please, then somebody else may think that is the best way to please. Prabhupada himself gave many instructions. This will please me the most. Distribute books, this will please me the most. Then somebody else, Prabhupada says, okay, preach nicely, this will please me the most. Prabhupada is giving multiple instructions. So everything is going to please him the most. And within that, you can choose what you want to do. You may do one thing, two things, three things. But at the same time, we should have healthy respect for people who are doing other things. We should understand that everyone is trying. We may have differences, but we should focus on the purpose, the common purpose. That's what Prabhupada wanted Mayapur to be the place where unity in diversity is discussed. There is diversity that cannot be denied, but diversity should bring us to unity, and if diversity is not bringing us to unity, then we become the most unfortunate. If we become arrogant leaders who cannot allow Brahmanas to voice their opinion, if Brahmanas in the movement are afraid of saying what they have to say, most unfortunate. Most unfortunate. It is said in the purports that the mausala-līlā was actually enacted by the Lord because nobody can destroy the yadavas. Forget destroying the yadavas, nobody can even insult the yadavas. So the same thing applies to the International Society of Krishna Consciousness. Prabhupada writes on Purport, nobody can check this movement. Nobody can check the progress of this movement. No force in the world has the power to check the progress of the International Society of Krishna Consciousness. We are as powerful as the Yadavas. But by our own arrogance, we could destroy this movement ourselves. That is possible. That is possible. And if we try to do that, then we become most unfortunate. Most unfortunate. So therefore, it is incumbent on every one of us to first of all understand our good fortune. Anarpita charanchirat karunayavatirana kalau samarpayitum unnada ujjvala swabhakti shriyam. What is our qualification and what we have got? Before we become arrogant, before we become puffed up, before we think that, oh, we know so many things, oh, I am right, oh, you are wrong, you are this, you are that. Before that, first of all, we should try to understand that what is that we have got? Anarpita charinchirat karunayavatirana kalau samarpayitum unnada ujjvala swabhakti shriyam. We have got something very, very valuable. As much as we have differences, we should also have the gratitude that we have the Sangha. Because in the Sangha of devotees only we can practice Krishna consciousness. The gratitude should overcome the differences. That I am able to sit with you, I am able to have prasad, I am able to discuss Krishna Katha. The gratitude of the Sangha, that we are able to practice the 6 loving exchanges, that dadati pradignati guhyamakyati prachati bhungte bhojayate saiva sadvidam priti lakshanam, that we are able to do it in sajatiya snigdasya bhagavat Sangha. Everybody wants to please Prabhupada. Everybody wants that we should become pure devotee. Everybody wants we should go to Goloka. Then we should give up our arrogance. We may have differences. We should let the Brahmanas discuss the differences. We should let the institution come to conclusions. And if those conclusions, necessarily they may not be right. Our history has shown that we have made wrong decisions also. Then Krishna as time factor doesn't allow those decisions to stay. That those who are new in the movement, they may not even know that we had a different guru system before. They may not even know. But when that system was there, it was so powerfully there. But where is that system? Gone, finished, dismantled. Why? Because Krishna as time factor did not allow that decision to stay. So if we are united, if we try to work out our differences, if we try to cooperate, that is the austerity. And that austerity pleases Krishna, that austerity pleases Prabhupada. Then we become fortunate, because even if we do something wrong, it will get corrected. It will get corrected. Krishna will protect us. But if we don't cooperate, if we become arrogant, then what will be the result? Just take a long walk in Bhaktisiddhanta Road. Just take a long walk, long leisurely walk in Bhaktisiddhanta Road, starting from Hulur Ghat all the way up to Bamanpukur, and try to count how many boards are there. How many name boards are there? Try to count how many name boards are there. That is the result of non-cooperation. That is the result of arrogance. That is the result of becoming asara. In our own place, the Lord is teaching us that don't become unfortunate. Try to appreciate the company of devotees. Try to appreciate the association which is there. Don't think that I can get Krishna outside the International Society of Krishna Consciousness. I am not trying to minimize the great Vaishnavas who are there outside the International Society of Krishna Consciousness. Don't mistake me. I am not trying to minimize them. But at the same time, being in the International Society of Krishna Consciousness, if we think that I can get Krishna outside the International Society of Krishna Consciousness, it is most unfortunate. It is most unfortunate. Then we are reducing this movement to another mundane club. There's Lions Club, there's this club, there's that club, there's Diners Club, there's Drinking Man Club, there's Cricket Club. And those clubs are not meant for getting Krishna. And if we think that this club is not also not for meant for getting Krishna, I should go outside, then we are thinking that this club is also like that club. That is what it is said, that the fish actually thinks that the moon is also another fish. Okay, I have a small club, only 10 people are there. They have a big club, they have many branches all over the world. There is no difference between this club and that club. The fish is thinking that the moon is also another fish. We should not become like that foolish fish. We should try to understand the opportunity which is provided by Prabhupada in the form of the International Society for Krishna Consciousness. Of course there are defects. Of course there are differences. Of course there are many matters to be settled. Of course there will be many more matters to be settled. Because that's the very nature of Kali Yuga. The very nature of Kali Yuga is that there has to be disturbance. That's the very nature of Kali Yuga. And as we go further and further, the nature of Kali is that what is right will become wrong, what is wrong will become right. Today, we have come to a situation where it is legal for a man to get married to a man, a woman to get married to a woman. But don't be surprised that after 50 years, it will become illegal for a man to get married with a woman. So if a man gets married with a woman, they will be put in jail. Don't be surprised. These things will happen in Kali Yuga because the nature of Kali Yuga is that what is wrong will become right and what is right will become wrong. That is the very nature of Kali Yuga. There is feminism, there is wokeism, there is thisism, there is thatism. There are so many isms which will threaten the International Society for Krishna Consciousness. But if we stand united, if we respect the Brahmanas, if we don't become arrogant, next 10,000 years, Prabhupada's books will become the law book for this society. We can do it. And if we participate in that, it is our glory. If we don't participate in that, it is the most unfortunate. There is unfortunate, there is most unfortunate. And then there are those who think they are unfortunate, but they are fortunate. Who are they? They are people like Uddhava. They are people like Vasudeva. Uddhava is saying, oh, I am most unfortunate. I did not utilize Krishna's association. I did not go back home, back to Godhead. But Krishna is thinking that I didn't go to Badrikashram. I had so many engagements, 125 years, I was so busy doing so many things, but I didn't go to Badrikashram. So who can go to Badrikashram? Uddhava can go to Badrikashram because he is as good as me. So therefore he is telling Uddhava, Uddhava, I will give you some message, you take it to Badrikashram. So Uddhava becomes the confidential message carrier of Krishna. And we will read in the purport that Prabhupada will say that we can also become like Uddhava. We can also carry the confidential message of Krishna. We can also carry the confidential message of Lord Chaitanya when we take Prabhupada's books. And then when we go around showing the books to everybody, we are doing Uddhava's service. Carrying the confidential message that please take this most confidential knowledge, please utilize it. When we teach this confidential knowledge to devotees, we are also doing Uddhava's service. We are distributing this confidential knowledge to everybody. When we dedicate ourselves to this movement, when we try to serve sincerely, when we become aware of our own limitations, and when we pray to Krishna, when we pray to the deities that these are my limitations, please help me to serve Prabhupada, we become most fortunate. When we recognize our unfortunate situation, like we are saying that every day we are singing that Patita Pavana Hetu Tavai Avatar Mosama Patita Prabhu Napai Bear. When we acknowledge our most unfortunate situation, and when we have gratitude for the good fortune which is provided in terms of the International Society for Krishna Consciousness, then we can become most fortunate. Then we become most fortunate. So therefore, this verse is a very wonderful verse where Uddhava is reflecting on the misfortune of everyone, including his own misfortune. But in the reflection of his misfortune lies his great fortune. Lies is the greatest fortune. So if we become meditative, if we try to understand the opportunity which is provided by Prabhupada in the form of this institution, which is International Society for Krishna Consciousness, if we try to take our service seriously, whatever service we do, we may be doing some big managerial service or we may be doing some small service, doesn't matter, because there's nothing big, there's nothing small in Krishna consciousness. Big and small is only false ego. You have big false ego, you have small false ego. That is the only thing. When that big false ego and small false ego is given up, you simply understand that you are insignificant. You understand that in spite of you may be doing so many things, you still understand you are insignificant. Just like Arjuna understood that he is very insignificant. He was one great warrior who was actually fighting the entire Kurukshetra battle. He was blazing the army with his arrows. He was so powerful that he was unstoppable. The greatest of the archers the history has ever seen. But he was defeated by few cowherdsmen. Few cowherdsmen. And he miserably failed in protecting women. That is the worst thing which can happen to a Vaishnava, or to a Kshatriya. The worst thing which can happen to a Kshatriya is that he fails to protect Brahmanas, women and children. The worst thing which can happen to Kshatriya. That happened to him. Now he is thinking, Sugadukke same krutva labha labho jaya jayo taya jaya jasa yogam naivam paptam avapsyasi. He is lamenting. And then he puts a break and then he is thinking, why I am lamenting? Then he understood, I am lamenting because I think I have lost something. But I didn't lose anything. I have Krishna's instruction. The moment he understands that, he becomes most fortunate. He becomes very peaceful. Very peaceful. So, we have to try to give up that false ego. You may have big false ego, you may have a small false ego. Doesn't matter. We try to give up. Try to understand that we are some insignificant cog in that big wheel of time which has been set up by Krishna and Srila Prabhupada and Mahaprabhu. And then we have to move our movement. Tick, 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 tick. We have to move. And if we move, then we become most fortunate. If we get stuck simply because of our arrogance, simply because of our false ego, simply because of our ignorance, simply because of the lack of gratitude, then we're most unfortunate. Most unfortunate. Okay, let's stop here. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Okay, any comments, corrections, reflections? Yes, Ruji. Also, we have Janmashtami Prabhu, then we have Navina Nirita Prabhu. Rameshwar Prabhu, okay. He can go first.
Thank you for that class, Hare Krishna. I have a question which you started to explain, but you covered so many topics. In this text, it is astonishing when people see Krishna and they don't recognize he is God. We can understand, like Sishupal, Rukmi, these persons who are not naturally devoted to Krishna, of course they don't understand, and that makes sense to us. But I'm struggling with is Krishna's family, the Yadu dynasty. They are so devoted to him. They live with him, and they see him perform things that only God could do. So how is it that they don't know he's God? It's very interesting is that always? Is it just a temporary covering so they could annihilate themselves? That's my question. How with those, they're all devotees, and they see the miracles of God being performed, and they don't see that he's God.
So, as far as I understand, the Acharyas have answered this question by saying that the Yadu dynasty was made an example for the times to come. Like the Yadu dynasty was made an example for the different people, like how things can be destroyed from within. The Yadu dynasty was made as an example, so that those devotees who will come at the later time, they will understand the dangers of having this kind of attitude. So the Lord put them into some sort of illusion where they actually behaved like this. And then also the other explanation which is given is that some of them are eternal associates of the Lord, some of them are demigods who actually came to assist the Lord. They were not supposed to go back to Dwaraka, they were not supposed to go back to Vaikuntha, they were simply supposed to go back to their original positions in the demigod loka, in the Swarga loka, where they have to stay. So the Lord did not want them to give up their body in Dwaraka. So therefore he told them, oh, Dwaraka has become very unsafe, Dwaraka is not good, Dwaraka has become very unsafe. We go to Prabhasa and then we do some austerities, that is a very safe place. And then he took all of them to Prabhasa. And then in Prabhasa they fought with each other and they destroyed everybody. So because they did not give up their life in Dwaraka, they did not go to spiritual world, they simply went back to their original position as demigods. So this is also very instructive. We think that, oh, International Society for Krishna Consciousness is not a good place, let us go outside, let us try to practice Krishna consciousness, let us try to divide this society, let us go outside, let us do our little camp and then we will try to practice Krishna consciousness. This is like the demigods leaving Dwaraka and then going to Prabhasa. Then the opportunity of the International Society of Krishna Consciousness by which we can go back home, back to Godhead is lost. So that's the thing which the Lord himself created so that these things can happen. So that's the explanation I have read from the Acharyas. You are more competent to give. Yeah.
Take birth in this dynasty because you're going to assist him.
Correct.
They clearly knew he was God.
Yes.
The eternal associate obviously knew he was God.
Yeah.
So many members of the Yadu dynasty took that birth
Yes.
or appeared, and they already knew the whole time of Krishna's Leela,
Yeah.
he is God.
Yeah.
And only at the end, they forgot.
Yeah.
That's what it seems like when I look at this history of
Yes,
Yadu.
yes. Yeah.
I think it's some kind of magical yoga maya that we all forget. Suddenly.
Correct. That's what the Acharyas have explained, that they were put into some sort of illusion so that they could actually do this kind of things. That the Lord put them into illusion that they could do these kind of things, but so that we could also learn that lesson. So Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur has actually elaborately given commentary for this in the 11th canto, where he actually discusses the many points which can be learned by the contemporary preaching institutions from actually this whole mausala-līlā. So in the 2 chapters and the later chapter, there is very elaborate commentaries which is given by the disciples of Srila Prabhupada, which is coming from Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur's commentary, from Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur's commentary. So it's very interesting to read that how the Lord actually enacted something to protect us who are going to come much later. So, in that sense, when Prabhupada is writing in the preface of Bhagavad Gita that the Krishna conscious movement is historical, then we can actually appreciate that how the foundation of the movement was started in Krishna Lila itself. That different things which are happening in Krishna Lila are very foundational to the management of the International Society of Krishna Consciousness. So it's very interesting to see from that perspective. Yes, please.
I recently came across a quote from Prabhupada in a conversation regarding unity and diversity. And he said that there's going to be differences of opinion, for sure, but if you maintain friendly relationships and observe Vaishnava etiquette, then it's pure devotional service. So that's you were basically saying that, so there can be, even amongst close friends, real intimate associates, there can be differences of opinion, but that observance of etiquette and also friendliness in the dealings makes it all work. Now, the other point you made about walking along this Bhaktisiddhanta Marg, in order to really assure the unity of our movement, the devotees really have to strictly follow Srila Prabhupada's instructions. In terms of so many instructions he gave us. Like I was recently talking with one devotee, Veer Krishna Maharaj. Like this is before the Bhaktivedanta database became public. And he did research on all these letters that Srila Prabhupada sent to the GBC, and he found something common in practically every single one of them. That the most important responsibility of the GBCs is to make sure that everybody in their temples attended the full morning program. And it's something that there's a tendency to slide from that standard. I got too much service, or I'm an old man, or I'm sick, or this or that. But that's what gives the potency to really, ensure that we stay together by following Prabhupada's instructions. So many instructions in different areas. One other point, and I'll keep my big mouth shut, is that okay, so there's a conversation that took place between Tamal Krishna Maharaj and Srila Prabhupada in the beginning days of Juhu, which was so challenging. So Prabhupada brought in Tamal Krishna Maharaj because he was so expert in management. And one day, Srila Prabhupada, Tamal Krishna Maharaj explained to Srila Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada, how can I think of Krishna? My mind is simply filled with temple finances. And then Prabhupada said, yes, many, many lifetimes we've wasted on ourselves. If just in this one lifetime we can dedicate heart and soul to pushing on Lord Chaitanya's movement, then at the end, even if we're not completely perfect, Lord Chaitanya will personally come and take us back to Godhead.
Haribol! We should, Navininath Prabhu is on.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Harilila Prabhu. Wonderful class. So the previous system was not perfect. The current system is probably also not perfect. And the future systems will also probably not be perfect because we're in a mature world. We're in an imperfect place. Thank you for giving us hope and courage to come to terms with our insignificance and with doing the right thing, of taking shelter of the process of Krishna consciousness and carrying forward with a cooperative spirit, knowing that we may not see the big changes in our lifetimes because religious institutions historically are pretty slow in incorporating change. You mentioned that when we're not hearing or not listening to brahmanas, then we're in a very unfortunate position, in a very unfortunate situation. Now in our movement it's quite unique because we have a lot of persons who are occupying administrative positions, but they see themselves primarily as Brahmins. Now, an observer may call this a conflict of interest because you can't be the judge and the jury.
Yeah.
So where does the Brahminical guidance come in? Where does that detachment, not having vested interests, come into play?
Yeah, it's a very important question. I don't know if I am the right person to answer this also, but I will try because I've been meditating on this point also quite some time. Not that I'm some big meditator or somebody, but in my own capacity, just like the frog in the well, I also think about various things. See, the point is that all of us are meant to be in mode of goodness. This is basically what we are supposed to do, because in the preface to Nectar of Instruction, Prabhupada says that first of all, one should control the mind and the senses, and one should come to mode of goodness, and then how to make further advancement will be revealed. So it's not an option for us not to be in mode of goodness. So every devotee who wants to actually progress in Krishna consciousness, you come to mode of goodness. So mode of goodness means Brahminical platform. Everybody should come to Brahminical platform. So this is not an option for us. But then there are also various services which we have. We have Brahmana services, we have Kshatriya services, Vaishya services, Shudra services. Then those services have to be done. So that's why Prabhupada, according to my understanding, that's why Prabhupada wanted Varnashram. Because then there is clarity that I am actually doing administrative service, I am into it, so I should listen to Brahmana who is not into it. I may be in mode of goodness, I am supposed to be in mode of goodness, that's what I am supposed to be, because that's how I can advance in Krishna consciousness. But the very nature of my service, it actually demands that I listen to someone who is not in that service, who is not having the managerial responsibility, who is not on the ground, who is not dealing with things, who is choosing his battles and who is doing those kind of things. Then I should listen to Brahmana who doesn't have to choose his battles. He just says what is right and what is wrong. So that confidence and that fearlessness in the Brahminical society who are not involved in administration, the responsibility of those who are involved in administration is to actually give that protection to those who are not involved in administration so that they could speak freely. I think that's somewhere the solution lies. I don't know if kind of answers. Okay, let's stop. It's already time. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Gaur Premanande, Hari Hari Bol. I know I took a topic which is a little bit of a dynamite, but needs to speak. Okay, Hare Krishna. I thought Mataji had some question, but we didn't have time, Mataji. Sorry.